We have a few things to tackle. Since I put on a new driver's side fender on my car, it has been rubbing kind of on my door whenever I open and close it. I'll try and play a clip of that right now. Really annoying, and it's kind of taking the wrap off a little bit, so we got to fix that. And then finally, I do want to paint my brakes. I want to make sure that they're well protected, so we're gonna go pick up some sort of like heat resistant paint. This is what we're looking for here. High temp paint. We got washers. I picked up a few, 4 of them. We got some high temperature caliper paint. All right guys, we got the wheel off. I'm double jacking it right now just because I have the main jack, but it is super sketchy due to these barely fitting under the car, and it's the way where my like jack point is. It needs to go slightly over top of this, which is just super sketchy. So I have a backup jack there just on the frame, just in case. Do not do this method to jack up your car properly. Just making sure I'm not getting under the car in any way. And I have a decent amount of space between me and the car. Ooh. All right, we got it. So now we need to kind of pull this apart and stick some washers in there and put this back in. I'm gonna try and do that. I need both hands, but I'll update you guys in a sec. All right guys, so just to get closer up here, you can kind of see where it was rubbing before and there is now a gap. So that looks a lot better. You know, this is the best we can get it. I'm much happier with this compared to what it was before. Before it was literally, there was no gap at all, and it was literally touching and it would pop in and out. All right guys, so now we're gonna paint my brakes. This is how I like to do it. Nothing fancy. If I had good brakes on the car, like some Brembos or something like that, I would not be doing this method. But because this is my winter beater in Canada, it's bound to get rusty. This is sort of how I do it. I have a little Tupperware in there with a box to prevent overspray, and I'm just gonna kind of go crazy here. All right, okay. So now we have paint, and you're gonna need one of these little foam brushes. And let's head over. All right, and we just want to soak this here. And the reason you use a brush like this is just so you don't get any lines. We're gonna do a few coats. And I already have sort of wire brushed this off as best I can. We're just gonna go right over top, and honestly, if the rust comes back up, I don't really care. I'll just redo it again next year, you know? All right, so that's our first coat. It's looking much better. Yeah, I'm not claiming to be a professional. This is definitely not the most professional way to do it, but it is one way to do it. I did this method on my sort of drums back here, and yes, the rust has poked back through, but it has been about 6 years since I've done it, and a lot of the paint is still on there really good. So this needs a touch up, but it holds up for a pretty good amount of time, especially if you don't have any rust. I mean, it'll be on there forever. Salt, they put so much on the roads here, and it just destroys your car. Like, you cannot have anything nice or anything that you care about unless you're okay with it getting eaten up from the inside out every year because of how much salt they put on the roads. That's why I keep the E92. I do not winter drive it. I keep it nice and snug in the garage. I do not want any salt touching my baby. But yeah, we'll let this dry and we'll do a second coat. Guys, here's the second coat going on. And look at this. I mean, it's turning out pretty good. So I mean, yeah, we got it on a few places we shouldn't have, like in here and right there, but that's no big deal. That'll be covered up by the wheel. And same with on the caliper here, but that will come off once we hit the brakes a few times, so not really a big deal. But yeah, that is looking way better. And honestly, I'll probably just keep it at 2 coats. It's probably good enough. I'm not going for perfect here. I don't want these to stand out at all. That's why I painted them black, you know. It's not like they're performance brakes or anything. I just want them to blend in a little more because it looks really clean with the new wheel and everything, but then kind of ruins it when you got the rusty brakes, right? So we'll let this dry and throw the wheel back on. right guys, a little update. We got the back one done on that side, and then we have both done on this side here. Looks way better. So yeah, this was my new my new caliper I was talking about. You know, I think this is a coating on top, but I already see a bit of like surface rust starting there. So I don't know. I don't think it's like a protective coating or anything like that. So let's just paint it. All right guys, it's been a few hours. I've let them dry completely, and we're just giving the Jetta a quick wash right now because it's been sitting outside collecting dust and pollen, and it's filthy. No, they turned out really well though, the brakes. I'm happy with them. You know, little simple, easy, super easy, I mean. So anyways, yeah, let's give this thing a wash now. Guys, you gotta get yourself a big towel like this if you don't have one already. Wow, guys. You know that moment when, like right after you clean the car, and it looks so much better with the black brakes not being all rusty. Almost forgot the tire shine, but we got that on there, so boom. She's looking really good right now. Even a neighbor just walked by and was like, what year is it? I'm like, 2012. They're like, whoa. I'm like, doesn't look it. But yeah, she's getting old for sure. But anyway guys, that's pretty much just gonna wrap it up for this video. Let me know, will the paint on my brake last more than a month, more than a year, 2 years? I don't know, let me know. But that's pretty much gonna be it for me. And yeah guys, have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out.